Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss about the benzylic acid rearrangement. So when benzyl, which is this particular compound, is treated with potassium hydroxide in ethanol, then the potassium salt of benzylic acid is obtained as a product after the reaction is complete. And this conversion of benzyl to benzylic acid is actually known as benzylic acid rearrangement. Why this is so? This is because this conversion involves a particular step in which the intramolecular rearrangement actually takes place, and that's why the name benzylic acid rearrangement. So before we go into the mechanism, let us first compare this with intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. So if we take glyoxal and react it with sodium hydroxide, then we all know that how the Cannizzaro reaction operates. So the product of this intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction will be this one. If you want to see the detailed mechanism of this Cannizzaro reaction, you can check my previous videos. So this sodium salt of this carboxylate will form. And now if you compare these two products, this one and this one, you can see the interesting similarities in their structures. And from this, you can guess that the mechanism of benzylic acid rearrangement and Cannizzaro reaction, the intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction will be exactly same. And this is actually the case. The mechanism of benzylic acid rearrangement is exactly same as in case of intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. However, in case of Cannizzaro reaction, the migration of a hydride ion takes place, but in benzylic acid rearrangement, a phenyl group migrates. So what will be the rate law for this benzylic acid rearrangement? Actually, experimentally it was found that the rate for benzylic acid rearrangement is first order with respect to benzyl and also first order with respect to the OH minus. That is, overall it is a second order reaction. Now let us go into the detailed mechanism of benzylic acid rearrangement. So initially the OH minus will act as a nucleophile and will attack either of these two carbon oxygen double bond. So if we take this one and a nucleophilic, after the nucleophilic attack by this OH minus to this particular carbonyl bond, this intermediate will form which is obviously a tetrahedral intermediate. This carbonyl sp2 hybridization state is now changed into an sp3 hybridization state. So I have shown this in this flying wedge formula because this molecule is planar. All the carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, so that's why this total molecule 1,2-diketone is actually planar. So if the OH minus attacks this compound from the bottom face of this molecular plane, then we will get this compound. We can consider both the top face, but in this case I am considering the bottom face attack by this OH minus. And if we write this molecule or we draw this molecule in a Shawhart's projection formula, then it will look like this. And after that, a single bond free rotation between these two carbon atom will produce this conformation. Why I am writing so? Because in the next step, the actual intramolecular rearrangement will happen, and which is a 1,2 shift of this particular phenyl group. And to migrate from this carbon atom to this carbon atom, this phenyl group must be in this particular conformation. Otherwise, it cannot interact with this pi star orbital of this carbon oxygen double bond properly, and that's why this conformation is needed. And now what will happen, this O minus will form a carbon oxygen double bond again, and this pH group will migrate to this particular carbonyl carbon, and this carbon oxygen double bond will break, and this will produce an alkoxide anion, this one. Now a rapid proton transfer will take place from this carboxylic functional group to this alkoxide anion, and this will produce our final benzylic acid salt, and in this case it will be a potassium salt. So this is the overall mechanism of benzylic acid rearrangement. So now if we look carefully at this 1,2 shift and consider its detailed mechanism, then the migration actually takes place like this. So initially this pi electron cloud of this phenyl ring will attack this carbonyl center, and then a phenonium ion will form as the intermediate. Here will be a positive charge, and you can see that this particular phenonium ion is very stable due to the stabilization of this positive charge via delocalization or conjugation. And after that, this O minus will assist its complete migration from this carbon atom to this carbon atom. So it will form this alkoxide ion, and after that the proton exchange will take place, which we have just saw here. So this is known as the phenonium ion. Right? So what is the experimental evidence that this kind of phenonium ion is actually involved in the reaction? So when this compound will be subjected for benzylic acid rearrangement, where one of the phenyl rings contain a strong plus R effect group like methoxy, then, and if you label this particular carbon atom, then after the reaction is complete, this was found to be the product. If you treat this with potassium hydroxide, and the labeled carbon atom is this one. So from this, what we can say, we can definitely say that the migration of this paramethoxyphenyl group is actually taking place during the reaction. And why it is taking place preferentially over this phenyl group? This is happening because in case of paramethoxyphenyl group, the stabilization of the phenonium ion is maximum. Like this, here will be the positive charge, and if we consider the plus R effect by this oxygen atom lone pair, then it will definitely stabilize this positive charge in a greater extent than the phenyl itself. And that's why the overall reaction rate was found to be very high, and also the migration of this paramethoxyphenyl group is taking place during the reaction. Now, if we replace this potassium hydroxide with potassium ethoxide or potassium tertiary butoxide, then we will get the corresponding ester molecule. So if we replace potassium hydroxide with either potassium ethoxide or potassium tertiary butoxide, then we will get the corresponding ester molecule as our final product. Right. So this is the overall experimental facts and detailed mechanism of benzylic acid rearrangement. So once we get this benzylic acid, we can transform it into different compounds like this. So this is our benzylic acid. So if we perform a oxidation reaction by using chromic acid, chromium trioxide in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, then we will get benzophenone as the product. The mechanism is very simple. First, this OH will coordinate with the chromium center, and then the elimination of this carbon dioxide molecule will take place from the system. I am not showing that mechanism. So this is an interesting conversion in synthetic organic chemistry. Another conversion is if you treat this with hydroiodic acid in presence of red phosphorus, you can directly get diphenyl acetic acid, which is this one. So these are some synthetic importance of this benzylic acid. So this is it for this video. If you like this video, then kindly subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions, then please ask me in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.